Hello everyone, I'm Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic and welcome to this deep woo-woo episode entitled The Quantum Woo with MARYAM HENEIN. You can find her work at honeycolony.com and also here on YouTube at MARYAM HENEIN. Let's give her a big warm welcome back to the show. MARYAM, welcome back.
Hello everyone, good evening.
Comment vas-tu?
I just came back from Michigan. I was at the Reawaken America. Zach was speaking and I went and saw Ann Vandersteel and Mel in person to meet them, and Dr. Carrie Madej. And it was really interesting to be in Michigan and see the vibe there compared to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And also to see that I am sleeping better outside of the house. So I think that it's mold again that I'm dealing with. And just to say also, there's reverb. I apologize.
You're sounding good at this end. Folks, give us a 5x5 if everything's okay. We were rushing here, and I do apologize. I'm the one who's late tonight here with traffic, and we didn't have much time to do a sound check here before we went live. So let us know if everything is okay.
So,
MARYAM, your video camera, though, is very, very foggy. It's like we have a bad connection on your end. You're
really?
Like very foggy.
Foggy,
here.
like literally I have to clean it?
You mean I have to wipe my hard disk, Hillary Clinton? No, I mean the connection is foggy. Okay, everybody says 5x5, so we're good to start. MARYAM,
I'm still foggy?
Yeah, you're a little bit. Yeah, you're not clear. Put it that way. Maybe it's lost in translation, but I see that my screen is running in 1080p, and you're at best 720 of that. Like it's very.
Okay, let's see if that's. I apologize.
The main thing is that people can hear you. At least there's no sound issues. Yeah, everybody says it's clear. Oh, Anita says it's clear. It could be from my.
No, here.
You're frozen on the screen right now, actually.
Not for long.
Your lips are not moving at the same time as your voice.
What?
Okay, now you're back.
It should be in high resolution now.
Let's just keep going. Everybody says it's fine. So it could be just a weird connection issue.
Should I go out and in again?
You can try. Sure. Let's do that.
Just completely disconnect from the link. Okay,
yeah,
hold on.
And come back.
Okay. Sorry, everyone.
No worries. Hey, folks. How's it going? Jean-Claude here. Sorry about that. We're having some little technical issues here. And, you know, a lot goes into doing these live streams. And I usually prepare, and I'm always here 10, 15 minutes before each live to get all this sorted out. But sometimes, you know, life happens. So here we are tonight. Okay, so let's see if we can get MARYAM back on the screen here. Yes, now you're clear. See? Interesting.
Okay, sorry, everyone. Right. So in regards to, I finished on the mold, which just for everyone out there, it is the great mimicker. And I had interviewed this independent investigator who basically got his life, he's digitally assassinated. So he had to find a different métier and profession, and he went into mold, and he was just telling me the exact same thing, how it's so underestimated with chronic illness, and that people just don't diagnose it properly. In any case, a good telltale sign, if anyone suspects it, is to leave for a couple of days and then come back. But so it was really nice to be in Michigan and to be with people who are active and doing something. I had a great time. So I wanted to just start with a little meditation.
Oh, I'd love that. Okay. What does the audience need to do to prepare?
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I would like for you to put your feet on the ground and to be grounded. If you're sitting in a chair, I mean, I don't think you're watching us on the floor, but so put your feet on the ground. We're going to do 3 rolling ohms. So people know I went to school at the California Psychic School in Santa Monica, California, and we learned how to ground. So I'll take you through a little grounding, and we're going to be also just pulling energy from our crown and letting go of things that are not serving us through our grounding cord. So I'll take you through that. So when people are, hopefully you're comfortable, you're ready.
Okay,
And then the ohms, if you
let
want
me
to
ask
put,
you to maybe hold on in the chat for a little while we do this meditation, and then we'll come right back to the show.
all right. So if you want to put your hand over your heart like this, or just whatever, we're going to start with 3 ohms. So So imagine a grounding cord from your first chakra. You can make it whatever you'd like. I see a big jungle vine going through the earth, deep, 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 deep down. Take a deep breath. And when you exhale, just picture it going down. The grounding cord. You can also have grounding cords. You have chakras at the bottom of your feet. I personally, the way I was taught is I'm not drawing up earth energy higher than the second chakra because it's too dense. Rather pull from the crown down and circulate it up. So continue to take deep breaths, and then upon the exhale, just release things that are not serving you. Take some, maybe 3 or 4 breaths. I do ujjayi breathing, so I inhale and exhale from my nose, but if you want to exhale through your mouth and make some sounds, you can. So I'm going to ask that you ask to collect any energy that you've given from the past, present, future. I call back energy from my friends or family. It's kind of like a energy retrieval. And I personally picture collecting it in an orange golden ball above my crown chakra. So any things that are just niggling at your brain, or just energy you've maybe spent foolishly or not wisely, just call it back and collect it into a golden ball over your crown chakra. Then when you exhale, just picture that golden light just going through your crown chakra, back of your head, and the back of your chakras, all the way down your heart, third chakra, second chakra, first chakra, and then just circulate it in front. So go back up your first chakra, second chakra, and breathe it all the way up through your heart, through your throat, through your third eye. Just imagine circulating, and you can also continue to just dump things that are come up that no longer serve you. So take a few more deep breaths. And then upon your third breath, I like to just touch the ground just to further get grounded and feel tethered and solid, not floaty and spacey. When you touch the ground, you can softly just open your eyes again and come back to your room where you are. Hello.
Hello, hello. Welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you for that. That was beautiful. Very
Thank you.
soothing. So, folks, how did that feel? That was new for MARYAM and I on this show, and I love the frequency of that a lot, actually. That was really, really nice. And thank you, everyone, for being calm and collected and participating in this meditation with us as we get started. Now, MARYAM, to set the tone for this episode as well, do you want to maybe pick a card?
Yes.
Let's get into that.
So again, I'm using this archetypes guidebook. I put it out with my right hand and then use my receiving hand and just kind of like hover. Okay.
Can you bring it up a little bit higher to the camera so that people can see it? There you go. I'll bring you up on the screen too. You're little. There you go.
Interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
So 2 or 3 people in the chat are saying, "Oh, thank you so much, MARYAM, for the meditation. It was so welcome and needed right now." That seems to be the theme here from everybody in the chat. So yeah, I agree.
You're most welcome. Thank you too, because it's an incentive for me to do it. That was quite rusty, but I haven't done that in a while, in my hippier days. It's so true, though. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just looking for this warrior card.
Okay.
Oh, it's not here. Where is it? I'm pretty good at finding stuff. Does it have another name? Okay, here we go. 81. So we often envision the warrior as an armored figure with sword in hand, moving blindly toward battle. Yet the deeper aspects of this archetype bring us face to face with death itself. Oh, interesting. Which I've said on this show before. The warrior stands precariously at the edge of life and death, trusting the eternal to guide the sword's blade. The warrior's work requires presence, alignment, and purpose. If and when the warrior loses its center, meaningless confrontations and violence are their default response. When this card appears, it is important to question the battle at hand. It is likely a great one with deep roots and long-standing tensions. The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles, so choose wisely, brave one. As you draw your sword, realign with the eternal wisdom within. Then surrender to the battle. So when light, it's fierce clarity, purposeful action, resolve, resilience. When dark, which is the shadow, or if you were to pull a card upside down, threats, savagery, abandoning mission and values. If you go deeper, you can look at chapter 68 of the Tao Ching and the Bhagavad Gita. So
I think that's very apropos. And Olivia is saying, yes, that's us. We are all light warriors here in the chat. Most of us are, absolutely. And some of us are long in the tooth. This is, as it said in the cards there, this could be a long-standing war. It's much, much deeper and deeper rooted than maybe even we recognize at this point in the game, in our awakening process. Let's talk about that. In the last couple of shows, you and I were trying to figure out where things were going from here. Like we've seen this strategic retreat in Afghanistan in the last little while here, and people are thinking, is it a retreat there, or are we repositioning our military for things to come? And a lot of psychics are tuning into that yeah, apparently it's more that than anything else. There's something else happening with the petrodollar as well. But in terms of this spiritual war here, what's your gut feeling telling you, Maryam, or your women's intuition? Are we heading for some type of an event here very close in the next couple of days or weeks, maybe?
I don't see days or weeks. I'm not discounting that. I'm focused on the Dark Winter Chapter 2, or, the sequel of that. And I am just cognizant of our limitations or biases putting meaning. For instance, like something soon. What's that? Our definition of time. Oh, I have to share something with you. Our definition of time is relative, because when we do plant medicine or when we meditate, it's everything and nothing at the same time, and it's relative. I want to share this, that this maybe people can relate if they're ascending or if they feel more in tune with their intuition or superpowers and trying to hold a vessel, which is why I personally think being healthy and loving your body and being with food and air, that maybe people are contending, well, like I have this superpower with time, and it's a little bit maddening because I know to be in the present, but I'm just like, I'm packed a week ahead. I'm looking at details. It's just my default. And maybe people realize that they're using a superpower, but they don't realize that they're using a superpower. So I was going to sleep and I'm like, what's this thing with time? Like it's because it also gnaws at me. And like I'm really good at gauging how long something will take, if it's going to take longer, if I tap into it and I'm not too mental about it. So I just heard you're a timekeeper. And I'm like, well, what's that? So I looked up, timekeeper. I still have to look into it. But then I heard, well, basically you're a watch. Because I will wake up and I will say it's this time or it's this time. I'll wake up and I'll say, what time is it, Zach? Is it like 8:06? And he'll be like, yeah, it's 8:06 or it's 8:08. But so as far as asking me how, I just feel like something is crackening, and I felt that something was going to be soon in August, September. And to me, that's this sketch approval to mandate things on the level. As far as geopolitics, it's interesting that this happened when 17 chopper with Benghazi was 10 years ago to the month, I believe. So someone had brought to my attention, Mr. X on Twitter, I call him Mr. X, said, isn't that peculiar? I wonder what the Falconeer that I interviewed, Alan Perot, would say. But last time I checked with Alan Perot, he was telling me the KGB was at his place. So, I mean, what I'm asking, what to and as far as this card, we need to prepare for a longer battle, and that sometimes necessitates I'm gonna sit it out for a season or something and recollect myself, or go in the cave and start, like, because everyone's holding space in a different way, if they know what their purpose is. That's the most important thing also for longevity. It's a ingredient, but this is a spiritual battle, and we don't have all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Melissa on the screen here is saying, yeah, it goes all the way back to Enlil and Ki. And to some extent, I agree with that. But when I said about time, like, is it in a couple of days, couple of weeks? Or when you said soon, I'm like, yeah, soon. Soon could be a couple of years in the context of this 1,000-year-old war, right? So I agree with you with this concept of time. It's very tricky. At the same time, it's no time to talk about time. That's a joke from Star Trek. At the same time, we're all getting this feeling of being a little bit antsy right now. So a lot of people are getting those tingly, spidey senses going, and they feel that something is around the corner. A lot of our psychics are pulling up that same tarot card moment here in the next little while, or in the near future for us. So we're all kind of waiting for that. And on the intelligence front, we're getting guys like Juan O'Savin and all these guys saying that, yeah, we're about to get the gut punch, or the near-death experience here.
Well,
so it's fascinating that it's coming from the intel sources, but the psychic world is also kind of tuning into something's not right. Of course, the mainstream media is painting over everything, and we're trying to pretend and hold the line that this facade is still working, but we know better. So it's kind of weird. And also, when you mentioned something about time, it struck me because for the last 10 years, I've been living ahead of time in the way I think, in the way I see events unfolding. So we're just talking about today the death of the petrodollar, with Russia signing this agreement with Saudi Arabia, which basically makes the Nixon moment maybe null and void, which created the petrodollar in the first place when Nixon took us off the gold standard. So like, these are big events, but in my mind, that already happened 10 years ago. I've been forecasting all this stuff, and I've been living and preparing as if that moment was already here for 10 years. And so for me, it's a little bit weird, because I'm like, wait, didn't that happen already? Right?
Right.
I'm way in the future in the way I'm thinking of how I'm preparing what I want to create for my children, and basically the world I want to create. So in the meantime, oh yeah, those guys are still around. That presidency is still around. What are we doing with that? What do you say to those people who are maybe like you here, in tune with time, and who are living maybe in different timelines or ahead of everybody else time-wise? What could you tell them to maybe better adjust to that, or first recognize that that's what's happening to them, and that's why maybe they're making moves and decisions that are very contrary to the rest of their family and their loved ones, but it's because they're living in a different time ahead of everybody else?
Well, trust yourself, and the message that came to me now recently is pick somewhere where you're okay never to leave again. And I don't know if you know the fable of what is it, La Cigale et la Fourmi? That's the grasshopper. And my aunt used to read me the fables. That comes to mind of, like, are you the worker ant preparing for the future, or are you in the present? Like, it's no time to be in Cigale right now. I would say it's time to look within, because we're so gaslit, and you have to trust yourself with soundness, right? Not to be really a master of your emotions, to sit on things. But I believe it is time to act, just for our own measly semblance of time in the bigger picture. That's on the, and as far as, like, let's say, ascending or getting ready. So to answer your question, I mean, I find it's frustrating. I don't have the answer to your question, in that it's like, what's the point of me being, by the time you guys all catch up to me, even with my business, it's like, well, I lost my edge here, because, so don't be dependent on someone else's edge. You have your own timetable. Like, I'm getting ready to leave. As far as I'm concerned, I'm way, like, I should have left a long time ago. Let's say Zach says, it's not time yet. Don't leave. Well, you don't even know why you're doing something. It's only often, I'm sure everyone has had enough experiences where in retrospect, whether it's a week or 5 years, it will become clear. Sometimes it never becomes clear as to why you did the things you did, but it is really in the spiritual battle to have and cultivate faith, even if that means your demise. But the card, as I've said, as a warrior myself, is to really face death and understand what are you here fighting for, living for, and live it and fulfill it, because we're being given an opportunity. And it's a shame to squander time and to squander your life. It's very precious, and hopefully the Rona has taught you that.
Absolutely. Eternal Sunshine says, yes, glad to see full house of love here tonight. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mary Clock, Jean-Claude, yes, I'm grounded, but it's weird. And I've found myself thinking of things that I see that have already happened. Oh yeah, okay. When I'm with family, I have to readjust. Strange, but okay. So yeah, it's that weird dilation of time or understanding of the events that are unfolding, or maybe we're forecasting a lot of those events, but for a lot of us, we're kind of like living them before everybody else. So it is kind of weird. So I don't know how. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what I also feel like is like I'm a go-getter. I'm not passive. And it's also been like the honeybees have taught me to be more in my feminine, where I'm just maintaining this constant lesson, maintaining a certain frequency and being and allowing things to come to me like a magnet. And I remember doing this exercise. I went to my reunion for high school and I just sat there. And then even a friend came and goes, why is everyone walking up to you? But I was magnetizing. That's just a little example. So it's a constant, I think, practice of achieving balance, because there's a lot of, at the same time, stagnation, where many of us that are in the future or that see or are go-getters or whatever are like, come on already. Come on. I'm sick of waiting. I'm like, we need more people to wake up. I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's very frustrating. Lexa Laura says, totally into what MARYAM is saying, but I'm distracted by how pretty she looks tonight. She's referring to your hairdo. A couple of comments already. You guys love.
That's so sweet, because I surely don't feel that in my environment. The environment is so important wherever you are. But thank you.
You're welcome. And intelligent? Jean-Claude, you mean you're not perfect? No, by no means am I not perfect. No, I'm not. I'm on the road to self-mastery, but it's a long-ass road, I gotta tell you. So going back to what you were saying here about people needing to wake up to their mission and to step into that role and be active. I was guided last week to record this video here, and I put it on BitChute for a reason, because some of the language there might be too difficult for this channel here. But essentially what I was being guided to say in this video was that we're about to be called to action. A lot of us already are, and the ones that are going to get a promotion here and be responsible for even more. And the reason I was saying that, it's not just about self-actualization to our mission, but also the fact that things are about to change here very, very quickly, and that a lot of normies are about to wake up, and those people are going to be lost. And so we need to step up our game, each and every one of us, really step up and level up basically what we're doing. And it was funny, in a previous conversation, I had some people telling me, oh my God, JC, I'm 70 years old, I'm 80 years old. I was listening to Art Bell way back when. When is this going to happen? I'm like, well, it looks like it's now. So whether you're 80, 60, 20, right now is the time to level up. And so whatever you're doing in this particular battle, you just need to stay calm for a couple of minutes and really be centered inside yourself to hear what it is you're supposed to do. And you'll get that deep knowing. You just need to kind of like push everything out for the moment and stay connected to your true self, because those signals are coming very hard and fast for everyone right now. And on top of those signals coming hard and fast right now in terms of telling people what their missions are and how they're getting promoted in this. I won't even say it here, but you understand what I'm saying. There's also the other side of the equation that's pushing down messages, like Cliff I was saying last week. He did this weird warning woo video where he explained that 3 times he had this download, this informational download come to him, that it was okay for him to get the thing, and he had the feeling of soulagement. What's that word in English?
Soothing, relief.
Soothing feeling. And he's like, what the hell does that mean? Like, I'm totally against this thing. Why am I thinking that? And he just kind of brushed it off as maybe a weird thought. Then it happened again and again. And he started getting a couple of emails from other people, including psychics, who were saying, hey, are you getting this too? We're picking this up in the field. Like, these are not our thoughts. Who's pushing out this information? So anyways, I just did a video with Janine the other day, and we asked about that. And apparently, yeah, there is a technology in place right now, whether you want to call it voice of God or, you know, something equivalent to that. Apparently it was set up maybe even a year or 2 years ago. And it's kind of like running on autopilot now because they had these specific dates in which to roll out these portions of basically full spectrum attacks on humanity. So that's incredible. And that's what I mean. Like, and that's why we started the show with this meditation and with this grounding. We need to be grounded into our center heart here to listen to our higher self, as opposed to all of this traffic and noise coming in. And now insidiously, these messages coming in to maybe brainwash you in not just in dream state, but in awake state, as Cliff was saying. What are your thoughts about that, Maryam?
Well, having lived across the street from a Cinco Geo pole, that I used to see the thoughts forms come in certain waves at certain times. I mean, that technology is not surprising, right? To be able to, and I think there's more amplification where electricity and water. I don't know if that was a message that he was always there and now he's picked up on it, or if someone's now, like, what's caused him now to pick up that message, if they're amplifying it, or if he changed the channel for himself to pick, you know what I mean, to pick it up. However, if you're not going to be able to discern, I've certainly had thoughts as an empath where you have to, you know, even as an empath, there's like shielding. I don't shield enough. Work to do, and discernment to be able to see what is yours and what is not. Mm-hmm. So if you've, you know, even as a young child, I got messages, let's say when I was trying to do out of body, and then I hear something might come inside of you. That was not my thought. I was only 13. So will people be able to know that that's not their thought if they don't have self-mastery or individuation? Because when we're exploring with my other sensitive friends, what is it? Or is it the rebel gene? Why is it that person that I was friends with is like not like is living in a different reality, like that film, The Leftovers, the series? I think I asked my girlfriend, she said individuation. And for whatever reason, from a young age, I individuated, and I have an allergic reaction to just doing things because the crowd is doing it. I don't care who it is. I just, so it's not to say I don't confer with other people or regard other people's points of views. So I think it is really, you need to meditate and go within. And I speak for myself because I haven't been meditating regularly.
I've been active on that for the last couple of months. I got this message a couple of months ago. You need to tune the body up. So in that triune mind, body, and soul, my body was lagging behind. Part of that was an injury a year and a half ago, but also food, diet, everything else. So I've been working really, really hard at that for the last couple of months. And that also included even doing more meditations than I was doing before. So I'm really keen on that right now. And it's funny, Chris Beatty is saying, yeah, I'm an Uber driver and my job is to make people smile right now. I love it. Yes, whatever your job is, do it well, because we all need this, just like we needed the meditation tonight. We need that smile. We need that human affection. We need that knowing that, there's love. That's not all just dark as we're being shown here in the mainstream media. But you just said something, Mariam, that fascinated me. Again, the rebel gene. I did this book review with Carrie Cassidy, which is called The Rebel Gene. And she goes into detail as to why a lot of the things are being done to us right now.
Who wrote the book?
This book here, The Rebel Gene by Carrie Cassidy.
Oh, she wrote it? Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah. Guys,
Wow.
go check this out. If you haven't read this book, it's good. Mind blown. Anyways, or go check my, oh wait, is that still on YouTube or was that deleted? I think that episode was deleted by YouTube. So if I find it again, I'll try to maybe put it on our private server. It was a fascinating interview.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was 2 part or 1 part now at this point. At any rate, it goes into, once you get the bigger picture, you kind of understand why I would just say they for now, are doing the things that they're doing. They're trying to stamp out that rebel gene. And they want the docile, compliant electorate, like Hillary Clinton said at the Council of Foreign Relations. That's what they want. But it's not working. There's too many of us right now that are waking up to that rebel gene and that knowing that we are those spirit warriors. And not just that, if you listen to Sherry Diffban, who comes on my show as well, she's talking about all of these recent incarnations also, who are very much on the warrior side from different entities and different star seed groups that are coming in right now at this particular time in the battle. So it's all very, very fascinating. So if you have an inkling, and I know most of the people watching these shows, they're already way past understanding that they have the rebel gene, but maybe having those conversations with the friends and family around them might trigger that gene in them, because they might have an inkling right now that they're kind of like, hey, I don't like what they're saying, but I don't want to say anything right now, right? You might have friends and family who are just on that edge, on that verge of actualizing that rebel gene. So maybe you having that conversation with them, showing them that book, or anything you could do to maybe trigger them or spark them lovingly. Of course, this is their own soul contract and their own mission. It might help out a great deal. Mariam.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, you're not a victim to your genes. And again, epigenetics, the environment, how many people would find the courage for themselves if they were in that frequency, or listening to the proper things, exposing themselves to really go on a certain drama diet, for instance, or just be able to be around, to know that they're a rebel gene in the making. That would be nice to hear. Mm-hmm. I know that people with rebel genes make others uncomfortable because of the courage. And I feel, just to speak personally, like all I want to do, I have no problems taking a bullhorn. And when I was in Michigan, and I was like, why am I not speaking? I have so much knowledge. Why am I not allowed in the club? I would rile the crowd. It was 3,000 people. Because just like, why do people, I've heard when I do my consults, I've been in chronic pain. I've had an autoimmune condition. I'm not just some doctor that doesn't know how you feel. So plus I'm an empath. So why, it's hard enough to be censored. And I'm struggling with, like, I just want to get on stage and just start talking because I know why I'm here. Why? And I'm being like, oh, let's keep her quiet.
Yeah, we got a lot of that, and myself included. Well,
I know.
You and I have both had our channels deleted, terminated, demonetized, and all that. But I was looking for that famous picture of you with the bullhorn in Washington, D.C. You and I had used it for one of our shows, which, of course, was deleted a while back. But at any rate, these pictures are coming up here. And let's talk a little bit about your shamanic side and your bee story. There's a brand new audience here, and it's growing every day. And they might not be aware, one, of your documentary, but two, how very interconnected you are to these wonderful creatures. Let's talk about that a little bit, your experience there and how you're connected to that world.
It was, by the way, it was National Honeybee Day last weekend. And after my near-death experience, where I was hit by an SUV and dragged 50 feet and woke up to many broken bones, including a 13-inch titanium rod, and being given a second chance, I've almost died like a cat a couple of times. So I really prayed for some purpose to be in service. And in fact, like if you listen to the Course in Miracles, I used to do it more. I did it this morning. Just please, God, use me. Let me be in service. So I was looking for purpose, and the bees flew into my life. And because they represented the sacred feminine and they feed us and they're ancient, I just spent 5 years to make Vanishing of the Bees. And when I first set out, I was quite scared of bees. And I told myself, just like I'm doing with George Floyd, when I'm done, I'm going to be an expert and I'm not going to be scared. And I remember being in Chinatown.
Are you still there? I think.
Oh, hello? Hello? Hello, hello? Oh, what the hell?
Hello, everyone. Is Mariam back? Can you guys see me okay? We just lost the main internet connection, so the whole hub apparently in the region is down. So I'm on my cell phone now, and I'm looking to see if I can try to reconnect the other speaker here while we're in this live stream. So let me see here. Yes, JC, no Mariam. So we lost Mariam as well? That's so weird. Yeah, right now I'm on my cell phone, but the internet connection that feeds into the house apparently is down, and so too for the neighbors. So there's something happening at the main tower here, a few kilometers away. Okay, JC, you're good. Can hear you. Okay, so let me see here. a little bit harder to do on the cell phone here, so hold on a second here. See what we can do. Settings, cancel this. Well, folks, do this messenger. Hello? Wait. Hello? No. Guys, let me see here. Okay, hold on a second, guys. I'm going to get off the phone here. I'm going to try to call MARYAM and then see if I can get her back on as well. If not, I'll come back anyways to let you know what we're doing here. So I might have to just end the show for tonight. But hopefully we can salvage this. So hold on for a few minutes, guys. I'm going to hang up here and try to get MARYAM back on, okay? So hold on.